Hello. I did not intend to start this vlog this way because I started my dishwasher and all of that, but I am because I'm probably going to start reading the first book shortly. So I am doing a series of vlogs where there's a new pause button on my phone. What does that do? Oh, interesting. So you can pause the recording and then restart it and it's still the same recording. Very interesting. Anyways, so yes, I'm doing a series of videos for the holiday Christmas season where I am doing 4 videos reading holiday romances. So I'm reading contemporary Christmas romances, historical Christmas romances, non-Christmas holiday, winter holiday-ish romances, and 2024 holiday Christmas romance releases. And this is the non-Christmas holiday romances. And I did actively try to pick 3 holidays that were not the same. Like I didn't want to read like 3 Hanukkah romances, that kind of thing, even though a lot of them are Hanukkah romances. There's not a lot at all, but that I think is like the primary chunk. So we do have 1 Hanukkah romance, 1 Chinese New Year romance, and 1 Diwali romance. Why was that one so hard when that is literally the first one I'm reading? So the first one I am reading is Holly Jolly Diwali. I can't remember the author's name and I'm recording on my phone, so I can't look it up. But yes, so that is the first one because I am like 15 minutes away from finishing my current audiobook and I have to go do a 30-minute run. So I am probably going to then start a Holly Jolly Diwali because I have to return it to my library in like 5 days. So yes, I am excited. I don't know a lot about Diwali. I will try in this version of the video to maybe like do a little bit of research on the various holidays. I know a decent-ish amount about Hanukkah. I had to learn about it in school, which is so weird because I definitely learned about it when I was going to a Catholic school, and I feel like that's so like, I feel like what you would not expect. And I don't know if that's standard or if it was just the school I went to, but they really prioritized kind of talking about different religions and different things. Especially Judaism because of like Judaism's history and Christianity. Anyways, so yes, Hanukkah I know a decent bit about, and there is a Hanukkah storyteller at the Epcot Festival of the Holidays in Disney World. I did watch him last year. He is very good. I think it's the same guy pretty much every year. If you're going to be down in Florida, actually today, November 29th, the Epcot Festival of the Holidays began. And then Chinese New Year, I don't really know anything about other than it exists. The China Pavilion in Disney, they usually have musicians playing, which I did watch a couple of years ago, but they didn't really talk anything about Chinese New Year. I believe that it is common to give red envelopes, like money in red envelopes, I think, but that's like all I know. And then for Diwali, I know it is, so I don't know if it's actually like an Indian holiday or if it's a Hindu holiday or if it's something else, so we'll have to look that up. But I do know that it is celebrated in India, and watch that even be wrong, but I'm like 95% confident on that one. I believe lights are involved, and I believe Diwali has already happened or is happening. I think it's kind of like Hanukkah where it's a like multi-day kind of celebration, instead of Christmas where, depending on who you talk to and how you celebrate Christmas, is a one-day holiday. You know, you can discuss on your own about whether or not you think Christmas is in fact a one-day holiday or not. But, you know. So, yes, I will tell you more about Holly Jolly Diwali later. I will try to cut in with a synopsis when I get back as well. I'll have to go get my iPad, but I have to do a couple of things around the house because we are celebrating Christmas early tomorrow at my home. And I have some cleaning to do for that. My tree is up now. Let me show you. So it's not lit. I cannot get the star to sit properly. Like, I do not understand what my problem is. So yes. And I fluffed it yesterday, but I feel like it's still bad. I attempted to put ornaments on it. They became toys. I was not a battle I was willing to fight in this moment, but it is decorated, or it is up now. Hello, I'm currently, oh, is he leaving or is he resettling? It could go either way, you never know. He's just resettling, okay. Oscar, I do have to get up soon and do some things around the house, just so you know. Just so you know. Oh my gosh. Look at this boy. Okay, so I did start a Holly Jolly Diwali. I'm like 10% in. So far, I did have to cut my run a little short because I had some fairly intense calf pain, and I was starting to, I thought it would just like work its way out, and it wasn't, and that was a little concerning. So hopefully it's like a little niggle. Do I have like a pimple coming up on the middle of my forehead? I think so. Great. Right there, man, right in the middle. I did have to cut it a little short. Why you look like a sad boy? Franny was under the Christmas tree. It was very cute. Anyways, okay. I have the synopsis up though, so I can give that to you. And pardon my pronunciations. 29-year-old Nikki Randhawa has always made practical decisions. Despite her love for music and art, she became an analyst for the stability. She's always stuck close to home in case her family needed her, and she's always dated guys that seem good on paper rather than the ones who give her butterflies. When she's laid off, Nikki realizes that practical hasn't exactly paid off for her. So for the first time ever, she throws caution to the wind and books a last-minute flight for her friend Dia's wedding. Nikki arrives in India just in time to celebrate Diwali, the Festival of Lights. Oh, I was right. Where she meets London musician Samir Mukherjee. We've not met him yet, so hopefully I will learn how to say that. Samir, I'm pretty confident in. Maybe it's the splendor of Mumbai or the magic of the holiday season, but Nikki is immediately drawn to Sam. At the wedding, the champagne flows, and their flirtatious banter makes it clear that the attraction is mutual. When Nikki and Sam join Dia, her wedding, it might have been Dia. I feel like it was Dia. We have briefly met her. Her husband and their friends on a group honeymoon, their connection grows deeper. Free-spirited Sam helps Nikki get in touch with her passionate and creative side and with her Indian roots. When she gets a new job offer back home, Nikki must decide what she wants out of the next chapter of her life. To cling to the straight and narrow. Is that what it's always been? Straight and narrow? I mean, that makes way more sense than straight and arrow. Like always, or take a leap of faith and live the kind of bold life the old Nikki never would have dreamed of. So yes, I'm like 10% in, so I don't have a lot to say. She got fired. She went out on like a date. I'm guessing that guy is going nowhere. But he seems like a good influence because he convinces her to go to the wedding, and everything. So she is now packing. I think when I stopped, she was packing for the wedding with her mom. Her parents seem nice, and I'm always worried. I feel like there is like this trope in Indian or Indian American books, at least, of having like the overbearing mom, and parents in general, but definitely mom. And I'm sure that comes from somewhere because most stereotypes do. But sometimes I'm like, come on, like they all can't be that bad. Like there has to be some like good, like good Indian, like parents and stuff. And so far it seems like Nikki's parents are pretty, like they care about her. They want her to get married and everything. And they definitely have some of those stereotypical things. Like they hook her up with like a doctor and everything, but they seem to really care about her and love her. And I appreciate that. We love a healthy parental relationship. But yes, so I think we are going to India soon, and it will hopefully be fun and exciting. But yes, and it's told in first person, which I've said before is not my favorite for romances, but it is what it is. And I'm unsure how I feel about the narrator. Lately, I've been having some issues with narrators, and I'm starting to wonder, is it me? I don't know. So Oh, do you not want me to pet you? Okay. I'll stop petting you. Okay, but I will update you later. I probably won't read any more tonight, or tomorrow, honestly. So it may not be for a couple of days, but you won't know any different anyways. Okay, so I'm actually at Wegmans to go grocery shopping, but I was listening to a little bit of a holly jelly. Oh, Diwali. I just hit my horn. That was rude. Diwali. And I believe I did say her name wrong. Her friend's name is Dia. Yes. And then she has actually asked her mom a little bit about Diwali. So Nikki and her family, they are Sikh. I'm trying to find my headphones. Alright. They are Sikh. And it sounds like Diwali is, I haven't looked it up yet, but it sounds like it is originally a Hindu holiday, but it is kind of culturally celebrated in India and by Indians, like Indian Americans or Indian, like British or whatever. It is snowing. So yes, so it's kind of, so it does have a religious basis, but has become a cultural, like, winter celebration. It is about, like, the return. I'm not sure if he was a god or not. I can't remember what they said, because she asked her friend when she got to India, because her mom was like, ask her, they're Hindu, they understand. Because she's like, why do we celebrate it? So yeah, it sounds like it's kind of like Christmas, where it was originally a religious holiday, but has taken on a very secular kind of personification of it, which is interesting. So yes, but I'm enjoying it. I might have to slow the audio down. I don't know why. I think that this narrator might actually talk a little faster. I find narrators talk very slow, which I understand, like slower than a normal person. I also speak very fast, so I feel like my processing, like my auditory processing, is probably just a little faster than like the average person. I think most people from this area are fast talkers. So it's just like what you grow up used to. So I think audiobook narrators would have been slow to me no matter what, but they're like extra slow to me because of that. But I think this one might be a little faster, so having her sped up I have it at 2.15 right now. I might need to go down to 2. I just feel like every once in a while I'm like missing something, especially when I'm trying to catch pronunciations and stuff. It can be a little hard when it's so fast. So I might do that. Maybe I'll give that a try while I'm in there shopping. So I will give you an update. Probably not till tomorrow. I will probably be out. I have to go to Wegmans and then Walmart. I really need to buy a shovel and ice or salt for my like driveway and stuff. And then tomorrow I have to do 6 miles. Fingers crossed. I would really like to get them done. I'm 1, scared it's gonna be cold, and 2, my foot has hurt a little bit today, and it's the same foot, or it's on the same leg that my calf hurt on. So I'm a little nervous about that, but it is what it is. I might actually do like a legit warm-up tomorrow, which I probably should do all the time, but I don't. I do like a walk before I start running, but, and maybe because it's kind of cold tomorrow, maybe I will lengthen my walk a little bit too, to try and get my body even warmer. That should take me probably like 90, 100 minutes, I think. I'm kind of slow, maybe a little longer, but yes. So I am guessing I will finish this between my shopping, my drive home, and my run tomorrow. So I will probably update you either right before my run or probably after my run when I finish. I don't know, we'll see. Hello. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon or something. I don't know. I just took a shower though, because I got back from my run. I only walked, so not a run, but whatever. And needed to shower, so I did. I did finish a Holly Jolly Diwali. Oh, let me look up Diwali. You okay, Franny Banani? You got a little sneeze? A little sneasel? I think it's interesting that it is a festival of lights. When I feel like Hanukkah is also a festival of lights, and I feel like that's interesting. Okay, I'm just gonna read let's go to National Geographic Kids instead of Wikipedia. Why not? It's derived from the Sanskrit word Dipavali, which means row of lights. Diwali is known as the brightly burning clay lamps that people put outside their homes during the holidays. It's Festival of Lights. It is India's biggest holiday of the year. Excuse me, sir. What are you eating? Oh. I gave them some churro and I failed to throw the pack away. The festival gets its name from the row of clay lamps that Indians light outside their homes to symbolize the inner light that protects from spiritual darkness. The festival is as important to Hindus as the Christmas holiday is to Christians. Over the centuries, Diwali has become a national festival that's also enjoyed by non-Hindu communities. That's what they talked about in the book. For instance, in Jainism, Diwali marks the nirvana or spiritual awakening of Lord Mahavira on October 15th, 527 BC. In Sikhism, it honors the day that Guru Hargobind Ji, the sixth Sikh guru, was freed from imprisonment. Buddhists in India celebrate Diwali as well. South India celebrates Diwali as the day that Lord Krishna defeated the demon Narakasura. I feel like they talked about that a little bit in the book, her one friend. Oh, no, it was this one. In northern India, they celebrate the story of King Rama's return to Ayodhya after he defeated Ravana by lighting rows of clay lamps. Okay, that makes sense. So, okay, that one. In Western India, the festival marks the day that Lord Vishnu, the preserver, sent the demon king Bali to rule the netherworld. That makes sense. I feel like I've heard, especially in Hinduism, that like depending on where you are, like different gods are kind of like your like main focus. Diwali is celebrated over 5 days. Day 1, people clean their homes and shop for gold or kitchen utensils to bring good fortune. Day 2, people decorate their homes with clay lamps and create design patterns called rangoli on the floor using colored powders or sand. Oh, I've seen that before. Day 3, it's the main day of the festival. Families gather together for Lakshmi Puja, a prayer to goddess Lakshmi, followed by mouth-watering feasts and firework festivities. Day 4, this is the first day of the new year. Oh, okay, so it's kind of like a new year thing. When friends and relatives visit with gifts and best wishes for the seasons. Day 5, brothers visit their married sisters who welcome them with love and a lavish meal. Interesting. They have some nice, I'll try to link this National Geographic Kids website because they have pictures and stuff. Hindus interpret the Diwali story based upon where they live, but there's one common theme no matter where people celebrate the victory of good over evil. So yes, I did finish it. Like I said, I ended up giving it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. It's a little on the short side. It's not a novella, but it's short. It's like just over 7 hours, the audiobook. And I feel like I said this with another book. I like struggle to say whether or not it is a romance. Like I was thinking about this while I was finishing up my walk. I was like, is the romance the main storyline? And I don't know. I guess I think it's a very close line. I think Nikki, so much of it is her journey, like her coming to terms with like what she wants and who she is. So it's hard, but that's also, it's well, it's not first person. Was it first person? I think it was. I can't remember. That is so bad. I just finished this book like an hour and a half ago. But it's only told from like her perspective, whether it's first person or third person. And so I think sometimes you it's hard to like have the romance be like the main priority when that's the case. But I liked it. She touched on things with like her sister and her parents, and I did really enjoy her parents throughout the story and everything. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. And then right now it's December 1st. So I did buy this advent calendar where you do a puzzle a day and it's 24 puzzles. And then you make a big puzzle of cats. I was looking for a cat advent calendar with treats for the hooligans, and I couldn't find any. So Amazon recommended this to me, and I said, sold. Amazon sold. Have I ever done puzzles with the hooligans? No. So we're gonna see how this goes. I don't know. I bought some poster boards so I can like lay it on the poster board and then put another piece of poster board on top of it and kind of like move it if I need to, or kind of like put a box on it and hold it down. So I don't know. But here's the cute little, and I figured this is the kind of advent calendar I can do every year. I'll just put it back together. But yes, so you have this cute little Santa up. So we will do the first box. I don't know, it says it's 108 or 1008 pieces, and I am not good at math, so I cannot tell you how many pieces are in each puzzle. I think it's funny that they say 1008. Oh, there's like a guide on the back, because there is like a poster. Well, sort of. Well, I guess it is a cut guide if you really wanted to, but it tells you which puzzle is which day, which I guess would be helpful if you, I wonder if they're on the actual, like if there are numbers on here so you put them in the right day, like if you put it back in. Oh, there are. Oh, interesting. Okay, but yes, I think it's interesting that it says 1008. I'm gonna need to take this out. 1008 pieces, because a lot of puzzles are not like an even number, like they're not 1,000 pieces or 500 pieces or whatever, and they just lie to you. So that's interesting, you know. Anyways, so I'm gonna do this, but first let's talk about the book I started after I finished that on my reading extravaganza. Extravaganza. So I started reading A Fake Girlfriend for Chinese New Year, which is my second book in this video. Now this is the third book in a series by Jackie Lau, called Holidays with the Wongs. I'm like 25% in right now. It is a novella. I'm listening to it on audio and it's only like 3 hours long. Looks like the Kindle edition is like 104 pages. And it is set in Canada, which is also interesting and like slightly different. The synopsis is, after his family's matchmaking extravaganza at Thanksgiving, which I believe is the previous book. So I'm guessing if you were reading the series in order, you would have seen this. High school teacher Zach Wong is terrified of what his parents might do for Chinese New Year. Surely they'll try to set him up again, especially now that his older brothers are in relationships. Zach, however, has no interest in dating, not since his fiance left him. The solution: find a fake girlfriend to avoid his parents' matchmaking. Joe McGregor, the town dentist, is the obvious choice. They both live in Mosquito Bay and have been friends for years, ever since they bonded over broken engagements. A few kisses and dates around town, and everyone will believe they're in a relationship. No problem, except their fake relationship is starting to feel more and more real. So it is cute so far. I mean, it's very much so a novella. I think it's going to be like very surface level. I think I talk about this in my contemporary version of this video with the novella I read there, but that is just something you have to know and accept. It's a little maybe immature. I don't know. It's weird. There is definitely like an unrequited love. Joe has feelings for Zach, and that is just not a trope I like. So, ugh. And I really hate it in a fake dating element. I feel like it just makes it very weird. So, and she is 33 and, you know, she like owns her own dental practice and she's a dentist. And I feel like she's a strong, independent woman, but she's kind of like, I don't know, like she acts a little bit like a teenager and I'm like, oh, I don't know. So, well, I'm a little confused if she is Chinese or not. I guess it doesn't really matter. I thought maybe she was, I know her last name is McGregor, but I thought maybe she was like, either somebody changed their name or somebody was adopted, somebody, I don't know. Maybe she's half. But I got the impression based on how he was talking about her being the perfect date that it would make that she would be Chinese. But she then was asking about Chinese New Year and about like the red envelopes and everything. I'll try to look up stuff about Chinese New Year too when I'm done with this. And don't show people your booty, that's rude. But his family seems happy that he is dating her. So there's that. So I guess we will see. I will put my puzzle together. Maybe I will like time lapse it for you, in which case I do want to like watch something. So I have my computer out. So maybe I'll just watch something on my computer while I film this. What are you doing? Trying to steal my salad? I'm not even kidding. He really does love salad. And I do have a salad. Like a couple of like leaves of my salad landed on the counter. Couldn't pick them up fast enough. Literally, I have a pizza here too. This is my dinner. And doesn't care about the pizza. They also didn't care about the puzzle. I did end up covering it, but like all night, they did not care about it last night. So I have a dining room table now, so I think I'm gonna try eating here. But also, this is where my puzzle is, so I'm gonna do that. But I did finish A Fake Girlfriend for Chinese New Year, and I thought of this while I was on my way to work this morning. I think I thought this was YA when I first like found it. I have no idea why, but I did. So anyways, I did pull up some information about Chinese New Year, which we will talk about momentarily, but first I want to talk about the book. So I ended up giving it 3 stars. I feel like that might be a generous 3. I think it was the dialogue that really like got to me. Also, the Chinese New Year thing, very minor part of the story. So this is short. This is just like the novella I talked about in the contemporary romance version of this video, where novellas are very hard to like fully develop characters. So I personally feel like generally you just have to go into them knowing that's going to be the case and be okay with it. But you know, it was okay. The dialogue was very like immature. And when they started having sex, the way they were talking to each other, I was just like, this makes me uncomfy. Talk about Chinese New Year. This is from Wake Forest University. I will again leave a link below. It's from the Timothy S. Y. Lamb Museum of Anthropology. It is known as Lunar New Year, which I started to question myself because I was like, are they the same thing? They are. Or Spring Festival. It's China's most important festival. It's also the most important, ooh, bless you, celebration for families. Includes a week of official public holiday. It goes back to 3,500 years ago. It's evolved over a long period of time. So the date is determined by the lunar calendar. So I believe there's some Jewish holidays like that too. Like that's why Hanukkah falls on different times. Maybe we'll learn because the next book is a Hanukkah romance. It's popularly, even though it's in winter, oh wait, I skipped. The holiday falls on the second new moon after the winter solstice on December 21st each year. So the dates could range anywhere from January 21st to February 20th. It's also called the Spring Festival because it starts from the beginning of the spring, the first of the 24 terms in coordination with the changes of nature. It marks the end of winter and beginning of spring. Okay. The Spring Festival marks a new year on the lunar calendar. It represents the desire for a new life, which makes sense. Spring, I feel like, is pretty cross-culturally like a time of rebirth. Legend of the origin of Chinese New Year. A lot of stories and myths. One of the most popular legends is about the mythical beast Nian Year. I'm assuming that means year. He ate livestock, crops, and even people on the eve of a new year. To prevent him from attacking people and causing destruction, people put food at their doors. It said that a wise old man figured out that Nian was scared of loud noises, so like firecrackers, and the color red. So people put red lanterns and red scrolls on their windows and doors to stop him from coming inside. Crackling bamboo, later replaced by firecrackers, was lit to scare him away. Oh, that's interesting. I'm not going to read all of this, but it talks about different things about how it changed during different dynasties in the history of China. Okay, and then in modern times, in 1912, the government decided to abolish Chinese New Year and the lunar calendar. It adopted the Gregorian calendar instead and made January 1st the official start of the new year. After 1949, Chinese New Year was renamed to the Spring Festival. It was listed as a nationwide public holiday. But why? Why did that change? Nowadays, many traditional activities are disappearing, but new trends have been generated. The red envelopes. Oh, and then he links to some websites that talk about it. Interesting. Oh, and this is like a museum you can actually go to at Wake Forest, it looks like. Okay. I'm going to click on the traditions tab just because I'm curious. So there's New Year's Eve dinner. It's the most important meal for Chinese family. Normally it's a family reunion dinner. So that's what we had in the book. The majority of Chinese families will gather at a family member's home instead of a restaurant to eat. Fireworks are used to drive away evil in China. Right after 12 a.m. on New Year's Eve, fireworks will be launched to celebrate the coming of the new year as well as to drive away evil. It is believed that the person who launches the first firework of the new year will have good luck. I wonder if that's why Western countries set off fireworks, because did we just adopt that tradition from them? Because I feel like they probably did it before we did, but who knows? Also, weren't fireworks invented in China? Am I making that up? Shu Sui means after the New Year's Eve dinner, family members would stay awake all night, but now some people just stay awake until after the fireworks. They talk about the mythical beast. Okay, yep, that's the same. The red envelopes. This part I knew about. I knew they existed. That's about as much as I knew. The red packet is a red envelope with money in it. The amount of money can range from 1 to a few thousand Chinese yuan. Usually red envelopes are given to children by adults, married couples, and the elderly during the New Year festival. It is believed that the money in the red envelopes will keep evil from the children, keep them healthy, and give them a long life. In the book, the grandmother says that she only will give them until they get married or they turn 35, because she's tired of doing it. And they get $10. Okay, so temporary markets will get set up. That makes sense. Small year is the last day of the year. It is believed that this is the day the kitchen god will leave the family, go to heaven, and report the family's activities to the emperor of heaven. People have religious ceremonies to say farewell to the kitchen god. Part of the ceremony includes taking down and burning the image of the kitchen god. After New Year's Day, people will buy a new image of the kitchen god and display it in their kitchen. Oh, that's interesting. Cleaning. A few days before Chinese New Year, people will do a complete cleaning of the house and housewares. This signifies the removal of the old and welcoming in the new. Historically, when people did not bathe as often, this is when people would take a bath to welcome in the new year. After cleaning, they'll decorate their house. Most decorations are red in color, because I think it's good luck and wards off evil. There's lanterns, ear paint, paper cutting, door gods, etc. That's very interesting. So yes, I mean, it is literally what it sounds like. It is just another form of New Year, just celebrated on a different day. But yeah, it's interesting. Again, I will leave links down below if you want to read some more about it. So yes. So it's all done. I feel like this one was a little easier, but I think I'm understanding better now the concept. It's not the best cut puzzle, so sometimes you get kind of false fits. Look at me talking like Karen puzzles. So I'm almost done with my pizza. And then I'm gonna move over to the couch and probably watch some videos. I can make my to-do list for the week. It's Monday. Oh, hiccups. And I did not finish that yesterday, so I have to do that. So yes, I don't think I will read anything else tonight, but if I do, I will update you, but probably not. I just realized that I am like 80% done in the last book in this series and in this video, and I haven't talked to you about it at all. And so I figured while I do today's advent calendar, I would talk to you a little bit about it. So it is called the Matzah Ball. Oh, I didn't bring my computer over here. I will maybe put in the synopsis. I'll read it. If not, I'll just try to like put it on the page, like on screen or something. But like the official synopsis. And this is a Hanukkah romance. And I will talk about Hanukkah. Today's the 16th, right? Yes. I will talk about Hanukkah when I'm done, because that's what I've done with all the other videos. Although I think I said this earlier, I am a little bit more familiar with Hanukkah than other holidays. I do know that Hanukkah is a pretty minor holiday in Judaism, and I think it just gets a lot of airtime in society because of Christmas. So because Christmas is such a big deal, secular, like especially secularly, but even religiously in Christian religions, it makes people like kind of want to make Hanukkah a bigger deal. I think especially non-Jewish people, it makes them want to make it a bigger deal. So like they feel bad, like Jewish people are left out or something. So not that there is anything wrong with celebrating or Christmas secularly. If you're Jewish, in my personal opinion, feel free, celebrate it. Santa loves everybody. This book follows Rachel and Jacob, and they knew each other as kids. They were like kind of like childhood sweethearts, and at like a Jewish summer camp, and it went poorly. And now in their early 30s, they are meeting again. And Rachel is an author. She actually writes Christmas romances. And that's like a big secret. She like doesn't want anybody to know. She like completely hides that part of her life. She loves Christmas. She thinks Christmas is amazing. Christmas is magical and wonderful. And part of that is because she is able to see it only kind of from like an outside perspective. And so to her, it can be this magical time period. But her dad is a very highly respected rabbi, so she's like embarrassed. She doesn't want to share that side of her life. She doesn't let her family know. Additionally, she has, I do not know the actual like medical term for it. She says it in the book, but it's called ME, but it's chronic fatigue syndrome. So she has a chronic illness, which she's kind of embarrassed about. That feels weird to say, but like she just feels like judged for it, so she tries not to share. Like her parents know, her best friend Mickey knows, but her agent doesn't know, her publisher doesn't know, and she doesn't let Jacob know. And Jacob really lost his mother. So after the summer camp thing when they were like 12, his mom, due to family issues, moved to Paris, she was from France, and so he basically grew up in Paris. And now his mother has passed away after dealing with cancer after a year-long battle with MS, but it was ultimately cancer that killed her. And he is kind of finding his way back to Judaism. Like he is, I think, kind of looking for some sort of meaning in life. And so he is starting to practice. He also runs like a huge corporation that does a lot of events. So I think it's supposed to be kind of like as if he like did things like Coachella or something. And he's throwing the Matzah Ball, which at least in this book, I'm assuming these are real things, is something that happens for like the Jewish community, where you throw these Matzah balls. Obviously, it's a plain word,
but it's an event. And so this is supposed to be like a huge Hanukkah celebration to give the Jewish community of New York something to celebrate for Hanukkah so that they can like kind of feel something, like they have something at Christmas time, but also so Jacob and his investors can make money, you know? And so he ends up connecting with Rachel's parents because he wants her dad to do like the prayers at the big event on the 8th night of Hanukkah. And he comes to their house for Shabbat, and Rachel goes and they kind of reconnect, and she wants to go to the Matzah Ball because her agent or her publisher doesn't want her to write any more Christmas romances. They want her to write a Hanukkah romance because it'll be new and fun and exciting. Like, that would require her to like write more, I don't want to say authentically, that sounds like what she's writing isn't authentic. I think it is, but like analyze herself maybe more and like her life, and also potentially expose who she is. So she like doesn't want to give up on her contract, and she kind of needs this job. So she ends up having this deal with Jacob to volunteer for the Matzah Ball, and they're like slowly reconnecting and everything. I'm kind of enjoying this. It's weird. Like, there's moments where I enjoy it, and then there are moments where I'm like, this is so slow. Like, I don't understand. But like, I can't explain it to you. Like, it shouldn't, but it does. Hello, Franny Banani. I am, like I said, I'm 80% in right now, and it is told in it's third person, but it kind of alternates between Jacob and Rachel, and Rachel sometimes is a little annoying. I feel like she's a little inconsistent in her behavior, and it is frustrating when like I understand why she doesn't want to share things. Like, she doesn't want to tell him about her chronic illness because she's afraid of being judged, and she doesn't want to tell him and her parents about the books and all of that. But it's like, ma'am, put on your big girl panties and at least like talk about something. Like, nothing is gonna get better if you don't talk about it, you know. And then with Jacob, sometimes he's like very immature. So they played pranks on each other when they were kids, and so he is basically like, that's kind of like how they connected as 12-year-olds. And what are you doing, Oscar? That's not a scratcher. And so he's like playing pranks on her again, and she's offended. And part of the reason she's offended is because they have this misperception about what happened when they were kids, which also, like, you were 12, so I don't know. And he also doesn't have the whole picture of her life and how like he makes her wear like this big Matzah Ball like outfit, and it's very uncomfortable for her because of her illness. But he doesn't know that. And like, he just thinks that they're like picking up where they left off. And then she gets all mad, which I understand why she's mad, but I also understand where he's coming from. So like, it's a little hard. That being said, with Jacob, I kind of worry like the romance that we're going here is, it feels sometimes like Jacob is just looking for a family and support. He has his grandmother still, but his dad basically abandoned him. He's now lost his mother. He feels like he was a bad son because as a kid he rebelled a lot because he had a lot of anger and everything, which is completely understandable. But I feel like when he was at Shabbat with her parents, especially her mom, I feel like he felt so comforted by that, which I completely understand. But at the same time, it's like, is that the only reason you really want to be with her? Is because like with her comes this family, comes this support system. And so I just feel like, you know, I read some reviews. I did see some people say that they felt like this was like a remedial Judaism and that the author was like hand-holding people. And I have to say, I completely disagree. Like, I feel like there are moments where she gets a little exposition heavy. But I was going to say before I read those reviews that I felt like she wasn't explaining things, but not in a negative way, but in a like, this is just how, if you grew up in this world, like she doesn't really translate words, like Hebrew words. And there's a lot of things that she doesn't talk about. Like some I feel like are arguably common knowledge, like talking about a bar or a bat mitzvah. I think a lot of people understand at least generally what that means. So you don't have to say like, this is what I mean, blah, blah, blah. But even with Hanukkah, like they don't explain Hanukkah really. Like she makes like brief references to the Maccabees and oil, but that's it. But there are other times where yes, it does feel a little heavy-handed. So it was weird. Her publisher, like when she went and had that meeting, was like acting like Judaism was some sort of like weird phenomenon that like she knew nothing about, which I think would fly anywhere else. But ma'am, this book takes place in New York City, and you're telling me that somebody that lives in New York City and works in New York City in the publishing industry, and you like don't like, you're just like, and latkes and stuff. Like, no. No, that's ridiculous. Like, I'm pretty sure New York City is like the largest Jewish population outside of Israel. So like, no, I don't believe it. I love how I said I was gonna do this while I'm doing my puzzle, and I have put 2 pieces in.
Hello. I was gonna take a shower before I filmed this, but I'm now not, because I'm gonna need to film this, eat my breakfast, do my advent calendar puzzle, shower, and then go to the store because I need to go to the bank and get cash, and they close in 2 hours. So I have to be kind of in a rush. Anyways, I finished the Matzah Ball this morning. I think I finished it this morning. And I gave it 3 stars. It was okay. It was super cringy at the end, like just so cringy. Like I don't think I have felt like embarrassment like that in a long time while reading a book. Like perhaps since my Twilight days. I don't know. Anyways, like it was a perfectly fine book. I enjoyed it well enough. That's really all I have to say about it, you know. But I will talk a little bit about Hanukkah. I think I said this before, I know a little bit more about Hanukkah than I do Lunar New Year or Diwali. So like I do know obviously Hanukkah is a Jewish celebration. It has 50 million spellings. It is a minor holiday in Judaism. And I think I said this before, I think it's just become more of a thing because of Christmas and its location to Christmas. And that's kind of what you see in this book. How did I put the scrunchie in my hair? Like, what am I doing? Oh my gosh. Like, I usually don't have a problem getting a scrunchie out. Jeez, I was just gonna put it up again. It does have hairspray in it though, because I curled my hair the other day, so. Because I've been trying to brush my hair before I wash it, and I feel like that's gonna be a nightmare when I go take my shower. Anyway, yes, and Hanukkah is basically, I don't believe it is in, like the Torah or anything. I think it might be the only holiday that's not. So yes, so this I will link below, just like all the other ones. This is from PBS. I'm a pretty big PBS girly, so sure. Hanukkah is Judaism's festival of the lights. It's on 8 consecutive nightfalls. Jews gather with family and friends to light one additional candle in the menorah, which is a multi-branched candelabra. Hanukkah means dedication, and it marks the rededication of the temple in Jerusalem in the 2nd century BC after a small group of Jewish fighters liberated it from occupying foreign forces. It says, what is Diwali? Like, read more. What is Diwali and how it's celebrated in India? I'm sure because people are asking. With the tiny supply of ritually pure oil that they found in the temple, they lit the menorah and it stayed lit for 8 days. The ritual of lighting a nightly candle, as well as the emphasis on cooking foods in oil, such as potato pancakes called latkes, memorialize this miraculously long-lasting oil, because the oil was only supposed to last like one night, and it lasted 8 nights. The days do change. It doesn't follow a Gregorian calendar. So last year, this article is from last year. So last year it was December 7th to the 15th. I know Hanukkah starts actually after Christmas this year. I just don't remember exactly what date. The candles are added from right to left, but lit from left to right on the menorah. That's always starting with the newest light. The special menorah used for Hanukkah has 8 branches with a 9th place for the candle called shamash, from which all others are lit. The tradition calls for candles with a real flame, though some use electric ones in public displays such as hospitals for safety reasons. How is Hanukkah celebrated? A menorah is lit in each household and is traditionally placed where it can be seen from the outside. Oh, I did not know that. That's interesting. To symbolize spreading of God's light to all nations, the lighting of the menorah in city streets and parks has become more prominent in recent years. In addition to menorah lighting, giving to charity and social works are also part of the celebration for many, reflecting the belief that Jewish people are called by God to make the world better for all. And the dreidel is a thing. I know each side of the dreidel means something different, and I think like you like win different prizes and stuff. That doesn't say that in here, but I've just obtained that through osmosis of being on the internet. Yes, I do think it's interesting through all of these, I think I've said this before, how much light seems to be a presence here. And in some ways you see that in Christianity as well. Like with the menorah, I've always thought about, I grew up Catholic, so we had the Advent wreath and you lit a candle every night, and it's 4 weeks of Advent. And I don't remember everything, but there were 3 purple candles and 1 pink candle, and I think the pink candle was the 3rd week, but I can't fully remember, and there is a reason for it, but I just do not remember it. And so you light the candle every night. Like, I don't know if you had to light it at dinner, but that's what we did. We always lit ours before dinner, and there was prayer, like specific prayers that you said like each week or whatever. So yeah, I'm a bad Catholic. I haven't been to church in like 15 years, other than for like weddings and baptisms and stuff. But so you see that there, and it's very interesting, and obviously a lot of it is around like family and rebirth, and I think a lot of that is coming from perhaps like a northern hemisphere thing where it's so dark right now in a lot of places, and so like I'm sure light is there, and family is just always something to celebrate. But it's just interesting to see like the crossover between different religions, and that's something that has always fascinated me, is this idea. Oscar, that's mommy's breakfast. To see how like even when religions are different from cultures who've never interacted with each other, or like before they interacted with each other, how similar they are. And I think not to go on like a whole thing about religion and if like God is real or anything like that, but I think whether you think God is real or gods or whatever capacity that is for you, I think that there is something innate in humanity that we do need. That we need to kind of like look to some sort of higher power, whatever that is. And I don't know if it causes a level of comfort to think like not everything is in my hands, or to let things go. You know, like growing up, like my mom would always say like just pray and like let God handle that and everything. And there is something comforting to be said about that, whether it's God. I know some people say like God or Allah, but like hot take, they're the same person, like in my opinion. I know people in all religions disagree with me on that, but in my experience and like the classes and the research I've done and the people I've talked to, I think they're the same person. Or if it's like you believe in like the universe is a higher power, if you believe in some sort of like magical spirituality that's just there, anything like that, I think that there's something to be said there. And I think it's interesting how like you see that with these like winter holidays and how they interact, and like how similar or everything that they have in them. And I just think it's interesting. I've always been fascinated by religion and how different cultures celebrate what they believe in and everything. It's just something that I've always been interested in. I think I do credit that in a lot of ways with my Catholic elementary school, because like I said before, they did like we learned about Islam a little bit and we learned about Judaism, because in a lot of ways they come from Christianity and Catholicism. And because in some ways, like, Islam is a reaction to, well, Christianity, or Judaism doesn't come from Christianity. Christianity comes from Judaism, but there's some things like about Islam you could say like as a reaction to Christianity and how like they started to think that people were going on the wrong path and everything. And there are things that overlap. Like Muslims do believe in Jesus, they believe in Mary, they just don't believe in them in the same way that Christians do and like what their purpose was. Just like Jews believe in Mary and Jesus, but they don't believe that like Jesus was the second coming of God and everything. So it's just, I think this is like probably like a difficult thing to discuss, but especially like in the world, like everything is so tense right now. Definitely in the US. I will say, like, just to date this video, it's December 21st. It's the first day of winter. Longer days coming soon. Woo! But there was just an attack at a Christmas market in Germany, and obviously that's atrocious and it's horrible, and I am heartbroken. I saw the video and it's heartbreaking, especially after what happened in Waukesha several years ago here in the US. Although I think that they are different, they're influenced by different things, but it is sounding like the one in Germany was in fact a terrorist action, and that's very sad. I am one of those people that has always been saddened to see how we take bad people and you can condemn them and you can condemn what they're doing and you can even condemn their thought process, but that doesn't mean that you should generalize their whole faith. And especially, like I said, when the world is in such a tense place, it's very sad. And now it's extra sad because this is a time of year that is should be filled with so much joy and hope as we go on. And it is heartbreaking to see. And I don't know if I believe in God, but I do occasionally pray, and these are times that I do. Like I pray and I hope for some level of peace for everybody involved in that situation. I think death is awful, and senseless death is extra awful. So yeah, that's a real downer to this video. Sorry about that. But yeah, I just hope, I know this is naive, but especially this time of year, I always hope that maybe we can find some way to come together and see our similarities and not our differences, and see, look at those things. And something like this video where I've read 3 books who are from 3 different cultures. They all have people who live in Canada or the US and are like separated from maybe like their original countries. That's a whole thing. Like how long do you have to hold on to that, But so that is like it's obviously a different perspective. Although in Holly Jolly Diwali, she is celebrating Diwali in India, but she was raised in America, so she obviously comes at it from a different perspective. And I'm not sure if the author is Indian American or from India, but obviously it influences perspective. But I think, again, it's nice to see the similarities and the commonalities between things, and that we are all humans. And I naively hope that we will one day get to a point where we see that and we can have more love and faith in each other. So yeah, I'm just gonna wrap this up. Sorry, that was weird and a little rambly. But yes, I hope that whatever you celebrate, that whether you celebrate Hanukkah, Christmas, if you celebrate both, if you celebrate Diwali, if you celebrate Kwanzaa, if you celebrate Lunar New Year, if you celebrate the winter solstice, whatever you celebrate, if you just celebrate waking up in the morning, I hope that you have a great day when you're watching this, because you are important and you deserve to have a great day. So yes, bye.